Moyo joins me live now from Abuja. We also have a tech and media lawyer, Opeyemi Adeleke, who joins via Zoom from Lagos. Moyo, the Foreign Affairs Minister confirmed if there are ongoing talks between the federal government and Twitter as we speak.
He actually just said that they are working to see an end to it, and then he didn't specifically tell us what the discussions were. And when journalists asked, he said that at this time the ban still remains, and that they will get back on any other information that needs to be out.
Let's bring Mr. Adeleke into this conversation. The federal government stance is clear. That Twitter must make certain adjustments before it can resume operations. Talk to us about the need for both parties to, for social media platforms to take responsibility at this time.
I thank you very much. So I'm going to first talk about the legal basis for like the legal points and the business angle. So for the legal points, like, we all know that provisions of Section 39 of the Constitution provides that everyone has freedom of expression, freedom to, say as they please. And then subsection 2 of the same provision states that everyone also has the freedom, to have access to information, digital access, digital platforms for them to actually, express themselves as much as they would like. Although it is my opinion that Section 45 of the Constitution also provides that this rights can be limited based on public health, public morality, public safety. But I have not seen a regulation. I am not aware of a regulation, like a legal basis for the ban. Like, I'm not aware that there's an executive order saying that, the security of Nigeria is actually threatened at the moment. Like, there's no executive order. It was just like a declaration on Twitter that Twitter is about to be banned for Twitter for different reasons, which in my opinion, there's no legal basis. My second thought is many people in Nigeria are actually making money from digital marketing, advertisements, and lots and lots of platforms like that, like Twitter, microblogging platforms. And it is also estimated that within per day, Nigeria is losing close to 2 billion naira. There's really no explanation to to say that there's no legal basis to that effect. Our economy is also being affected at the moment as a result of the ban. Yes, Twitter can come and say, let's come to an agreement, because Nigerians are a lot. We have the population. A lot of people use Twitter as a means, to express themselves. But are we trying to limit the freedom of expression of Nigerians? There's no law at the moment. Maybe previously, if the social media law had been promulgated, then there would have been a law limiting Nigerians from actually expressing themselves. But at the moment, I'm not aware of a legal basis that would then limit the way people actually express themselves.
Mr. Adeleke, yes, the federal government's position was that the platform poses a threat to the nation's existence, and the government is talking about concerns as regards insecurity, the possibility that certain individuals may use the platform to incite the public, to cause damage or fan the embers of violence, as we have seen play out in recent times. I'm concerned about the need for both parties to sit down. Do you think that there is a possibility for regulation? Particularly, I heard you talk about freedom of speech, but then the issue of national security, as we are told recently, also should come to mind.
Yes, but at this point, there has to be a law, a legal basis for us to actually say that security is actually paramount. Our security is being threatened at the moment. There should be an executive order or a law to actually back it. Because at the moment, even if there's a meeting, it's just going to be based on the opinion of our leaders and Twitter coming together and just trying to meet at a middle point. But my concerns are we not actually limiting people's freedom of expression if there's a definition, if there's no law to back it, to say that there's actually security threats at the moment from the microblogging platform called Twitter. That's like my point of concern at the moment.
Let's turn to Abuja. Moyo, so the envoys again reiterated their stance, that displeasure as regards the federal government decision to ban the blogging site Twitter. Talk to us about the consensus reached at that particular meeting, and if you think the Minister of Foreign Affairs was able to convince them otherwise.
Okay, the purpose of the meeting initially is actually to convince them, to tell them, to make them understand the stance of the government, which is security, as you have rightly said. But then, as the U.S. envoy was speaking, she insisted that they are still standing by the fact that people have freedom to express themselves, especially at this time that the country is also undergoing, still experiencing COVID and some other situations, and that the microblogging platform is also a good way for them to express themselves. But the federal government is saying that the security of the government at this time is paramount and is what it is considering. The lives of Nigerians is important, and they will not allow a platform to incite people against themselves or to start destruction of lives and properties. And on that, I think the federal government, as she also quoted, that the law of the country limits when the national security is a threat, then the government can take action. And I think that is what the government is insisting that they have done at this time.
Moyo Thomas live for us in Abuja. Opeyemi Adeleke, a tech and media lawyer, joins us live from Lagos. Thank you, ladies, for talking to us.